Well, what a crazy game we witnessed tonight from T-Mobile Arena. The Edmonton Oilers take a 2-0 lead in the series against the Vegas Golden Knights with a Leon Draisaitl overtime winner. 5-4 is your final in favor of the orange and blue. And this place, Hudson's Bourbon Street, went wild, as did hundreds of other local establishments in our fine city. I'm sure Ice District's going crazy. I'm sure the watch party's going crazy inside Rogers Place. That was unreal. Oh, look, CB is here. And we've got Connor from Hudson's Way. Cheers, boys. There we go. Cheers, CB. They're saying Tommy's tab. Cheers, 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 CB. There we go. CB's a Flames fan, by the way.
Really good.
Woo. Thank you, Connor. We'll see you. Maybe not on White Ave if they keep winning like this. And Connor's like, that's okay. That's okay.
No, we don't need a game.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get fired. But if it happens, we'll be at White Ave. Bye, Sticky Rice. Good to see you. All right, Hernan, Salas. I mean, that was crazy. You can text us 780-218-9999. Sticky Rice loves it from the Combine crew. She's pumped. Great turnout tonight for VR Montenegro's birthday. The Nasties being nasty in the best way. YouTube Trev, that little sweetheart, wheeling and dealing. There's Dusty, big smile on his face. You're going to have a fun. Okay, can you come and show us this shirt? Look at this. Look at this. What do you got there, big boy? Look at this. Nancito. He's already got one.
Can I get a win ya? Hey, how about this right here? Pick him up at the 780.
That is nice, Dusty.
Yeah, feels nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, have a seat. Okay,
yeah, just quickly here.
You're gonna be a tired boy.
Yeah, it's late night.
Actually, the fact that it was a 7:30 start kind of helped us.
I don't know if I'm probably gonna go home for the second overtime.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if I could have stayed here till midnight when
they got it done. GCL.
Hernan was right. Hernan called it all along. Is never worried.
Never worried. Yeah, exactly. There he is. He's smiling. What'd you think about that one?
I mean, the overtime was incredible.
That was insane.
The Pickard was brilliant. The Hyman crossbar. McDavid with that bounce.
Off the post.
Pickard early in overtime. 2 huge saves.
Yes.
I thought for sure they were going to score on the power play on one of the stupidest penalties I've ever seen anybody take.
Don't know what Waugh was doing
I can't believe that. And then they got away with one. I mean, it was a clear trip into the boards.
Arvidsson, yeah.
But this is what happens when NHL officiating's horse shit. Sometimes you benefit from it.
Yeah.
And they did. I mean, it was kind of fitting that it was McDavid turning around Eichel on the winner.
He froze him really good. He made him look like a statue.
He looked like Connor Brown, to be honest with you.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
How about the vibes here? Everyone, VR Montenegro, his birthday.
Yeah. His birthday. It was a great time. We'll see you guys later.
There's Cal in the park.
It's a great nasty crew here.
Yes.
Wow. Pickard was great tonight.
He was excellent. He made some huge saves.
To me, nothing against Skinner, but it's Pickard's net, so they are eliminated. I know he got beat 4 times, but he made a ton of great saves tonight, and he's won 6 in a row. I don't think you can go away from him for the group. That's it. It's his net.
Yeah.
But yeah, just incredible stuff tonight.
Wild game, buddy. I love that you had. I didn't even notice that
I made this today. Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I posted a video. You should follow me on Twitter. It's big.
I do follow you on Twitter.
No, I went over at door at 780. Text me, and he's like, "Hey, are you still in the West End?" And I was just about to leave work. He goes, "Come on by. We're going to start pressing these shirts."
Oh,
he said, "I'll make one so you can wear it tomorrow morning on the show."
Yes.
So I went. He let me make my own, which is kind of cool. It's a little crooked, actually. I kind of screwed it up, but I asked him. I said, "Did you guys sell a lot?" And he said, as soon as they mentioned on the Hangout, they sold 24 instantly.
No way.
Yeah. And then he said, I don't even know how many there are now. We're just running them off.
Yeah.
And then they're going to stock them actually at all 5 stores too. It was just supposed to be a pre-sale order.
Yeah.
But now they're stocking them at all 5 stores.
It looks good. And
it looks nice.
The T-shirts are nice.
And it's a great quality T-shirt.
Yes.
I'll be wearing it tomorrow. I'm not washing it tonight. But I didn't put it on until I came here tonight. So it's still a good cycle. So I'll be wearing it tomorrow.
Buddy, good to see you. Thanks for coming down.
I'll be watching when I get home.
Awesome. Thanks for hopping
congratulations to everybody watching. I know you're fired up. It's great.
Absolutely there. Text us 780-218-9999. That was the man, Dusty Nielsen. He'll be on the morning show tomorrow with Lieutenant Eric. Lots to break down tonight, lots to break down and follow up on tomorrow morning on the Nielsen Show and here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Okay, get those texts in. Cass is standing by. I haven't even read the damn liner for GCL Diesel. GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel electric components around, from turbochargers. Okay, that sounds good. For turbochargers to eject. Oh, you guys spent a lot tonight, huh? Turbochargers to ejectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Okay, let's get our game analyst, Matt Kassian, on here for the breakdown, brought to you as always by South Fort Chev. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chev. Also, buy now and save 0% financing, OAC up to 72 months, or save up to $8,000 on 2025 Silverado 1500s. If you haven't got your tires swapped over to your all seasons from your winters, mention EST. They'll do it for you on rim, $59.95 plus tax. They're also giving big discounts on inspections when you get your tires changed. See dealer for details, www.southfortchev.com. Drive a little, save a lot, like I mentioned. All right, Cass, here we are. I mean, Edmonton's got a 2-0 series lead. It could be 1-1 after everything we witnessed tonight. They don't score on the power play. That 5-minute on Nick Waugh, a stupid decision by Waugh, but the Oilers can't score on the power play. And then they eventually get one on a 2-on-1 with McDavid and Draisaitl. Where do you want to? You know what, Cass? Just wherever you want to start, go ahead.
Oh boy, giving me free reign here.
That's pressure.
Let's start with what. That is a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. Let's start with the play of Calvin Pickard. He played a big part in this one. I thought he was rock solid tonight. At times when the Edmonton Oilers were shaky, which there were times they were shaky, and there were times when Vegas made big pushes, he held the minute, played rock solid. So fantastic game by Calvin Pickard. Not a wonderful game by your big boys. I thought they struggled for a lot of the night. They struggled for portions of overtime. The power play wasn't very good. However, you get the depth help early, and the big boys get the job done to get the game winner. So at the end of the day, Tom, it wasn't a glorious dominant win, but you're up 2-0. You were up 2-0 against the Vegas Golden Knights. You may not truly deserve it after not being able to convert on a power play. But at the end of the day, Tom, you got the win, and that's what matters in the playoffs. You got the win, and it's a fantastic thing.
As Mike from Calgary puts it, that was exhausting. Yeah, boys. And then JCD 780 says, either way, 2-0, don't matter how you got there, and they did make it happen. All right, Calvin Pickard. Dusty was just on here as he is now heading home, but he said this is his net. The guy's won 6 straight games here, Cass. He made some huge saves. It was not a pretty game from the Oilers. Like, if you're the coaching staff, how are you looking at this one? Are you just relieved? Or are you going, oh boy, we got a ton of work to do going into game 3 back at home?
Yeah, I don't think
the feeling is.
Yeah, hey, the feeling is you just walked into their building and you took 2 games. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's the feeling. And again, it's not the prettiest game, but you don't care. You don't care. Like, yes, there's things to work on. You don't care. I think you realize that Draisaitl in particular wasn't at his best for most of the night tonight. McDavid had his moments, but also was not at his best for most of the night tonight. And you look at this and you go, you know what? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're up 2 games here. Now we have to keep pushing this thing because we're close to having a stranglehold on it. You win the next one. I don't want to say you're set because there's still a chance that you lose, but statistically really hard for you to drop the series if you win the next one, if you go up 3-0. So you want to take a stranglehold to it here, but from a team standpoint and a coaching standpoint, you're going to look at this and basically evaluate it and kind of weigh it against that first game from a strategic standpoint to say, okay, from a forecheck, then I think there were a few maybe a few slight tweaks from the Vegas Golden Knights, but I would say less tweaks and more they just executed their own game plan much, much better tonight. Pietrangelo stepping in the lineup, I think, made a big difference for them tonight. And you're going to be looking at that and trying to maybe refine a little bit on some of your automatic outs for your breakouts. And more than that, I think you're going to be looking at your power play, and you're going to be looking at Vegas's penalty kill, saying, hey, how can we get a little bit of a better look? Because it should have been what set us apart tonight. It should have won us the game tonight, and it didn't. Fortunately, we still won, but how can we just make sure that doesn't happen again for Game 3 and moving forward?
It's a 5-4 Oilers victory in overtime. Leon Draisaitl plays the hero. Matt Kassian, Hernan, Salas, Tom Gazzola with you on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show. I'm going to rattle off the scoring summary. I didn't do it yet. Sorry, Cass. And then get to the game stats. And we're going to get to a bunch of your texts. I see a ton of them coming in via the inbox. I can't imagine what the nasty chat. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Nasty chat is just absolutely humming. In the first period, Victor Olofsson, his first on the power play from Stone and Eichel at 8:42, 1-0 Vegas after one. Jake Wallman, his first of the playoffs from Vasily Podkolzin and Victor Arvidsson. That fourth line, man, they played a really good game tonight. That one coming at 11:31. Then it would be Vasily Podkolzin scoring his first of the postseason from Arvidsson and Klingberg's third assist so far in the playoffs. 15-18 time of that goal, 2-1 Oil. They would take a 3-1 lead when Darnell Nurse scored at 17-17. Nice feed from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Nurse's second of the postseason. Nugent-Hopkins' fourth playoff assist. However, William Karlsson with a nice redirection would cut the lead in half to make it 3-2. His second of the playoffs from Eichel and Pietrangelo at 18-10. So there's an impact from Pietrangelo. He would have more to say in this game as we move to the third period. In that last frame of regulation, Evander Kane, his third of the playoffs from Hyman and Nugent-Hopkins. Bit of a fortuitous bounce, but he goes to the right areas. That's the front of the net. And he bangs one home to make it 4-2, restores the 2-goal lead at 1:52. However, Olofsson would reply not long after that at 4:32. Another power play marker for the Golden Knights from Eichel and Stone. Then Alex Pietrangelo, a bit of a seeing eye shot low on the ice, gets by Calvin Pickard, the screen in front of him. Equalizer at 11:58 from Hanifin and Olofsson. We are off to extra time. Edmonton does get a 5-minute man advantage after Nick Waugh cross-checks Trent Frederick in the face. Stupid play by Waugh. We'll see if the league has anything to say about that, but Edmonton can't score on that power play. The power play obviously didn't look particularly great all night long. Kudos to Vegas's PK. Draisaitl does eventually score at 15:20 from McDavid and Corey Perry. Oilers win it 5-4. Shots on goal tonight, 37-32 in favor of Edmonton. Faceoffs, 56.6 for Vegas to 43.4 for the Oil. Edmonton's power play 0 for 3, including that 5-minute major. And then the penalty kill goes 2 for 4. That continues to be an issue for the Orange and Blue. Hits 26-30 in favor of the Golden Knights. Block shots 29 for the Oil, 24 for Vegas. Giveaways 19 for Edmonton, 16 for Vegas. Takeaways officially 9 for the Golden Knights, 3 for the Oilers. The only thing that matters is Edmonton's up 2-0 in this series. Coming back to God's country, the Big E, on Saturday night. 5-4 is your final. Cass, are the Golden Knights, are they broken? Are they too veteran savvy, too experienced to be broken? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think they're broken, Tom. I don't think they're broken. This is a team that's in a different state mentally than the Los Angeles Kings from a series standpoint. So they're not broken, but they're banged up. Any team's going to be banged up. Most are, losing both games at home to start a series. But we have seen already in this playoffs, teams come back from being down 2-0. Multiple teams, in fact, come back from being down 2-0. Edmonton being one of them. I don't think Vegas is broken. It was a close game tonight. It's an overtime game tonight. Vegas certainly had their own opportunities to win this, and Pickard came up huge and made some good saves both in overtime and earlier in the game. So no, I don't think Vegas is defeated. They're going to push just as much. Like, in a lot of ways, we saw I don't necessarily want to say it was the absolute best of the Vegas Golden Knights tonight, but it was pretty darn close. They were a lot more aggressive, turned over a lot more pucks, were efficient on the forecheck, and You contain McDavid and Draisaitl in a lot of ways, and you'll have to see what the final tally on the grade A scoring chances is. But I'd be willing to wager it's pretty close, if not slightly favoring the Vegas Golden Knights. So they're not going to go away. They're not going to disappear. But for the Edmonton Oilers, you are now in the driver's seat of this series. You come out and you play another really good game at home, no less. The potential to go up 3-0 is real, and it's there. You do that. You don't want to say again it's completely signed, sealed, delivered, but it's pretty darn close at that point. So, as always in the playoffs, the next game's the biggest game until you're either out or you win. So a huge one coming up for Edmonton, but Vegas is not going anywhere. They are going to push and even be more aggressive than we saw tonight.
Hernan, Salas, jump in there, buddy.
Yeah, not much. I mean, everything's kind of been said. Good game. Probably one they got away with. Yeah, I mean, what else can you say? Calvin Pickard was brilliant.
That's all you've got after everything that happened tonight?
Yeah, I mean, Vegas was... I mean, they're kicking themselves. I think the Oilers are, too, after that 5-minute power play, but they found the way, and... I don't know. I can't see. I can see Vegas winning maybe one, but I think this is going to be a quick series. I think the Oilers got them. They're coming home. Even if they split, I still think the Oilers are in pretty good shape right now, and they're going to play better too, right? They're going to show a better effort than they did tonight, even though they weren't terrible tonight. But Pickard's rolling. You're not going away from him at all. And the dynamic duo found an opportunity, and they do what they do, and they finish it off. So. I mean, you got to be impressed. They keep getting the depth scoring. Pickard stole a few saves there, and Vegas is probably looking at themselves saying, man, how did we not finish that one off? And but you got to look at overtime, too. Hyman hits the post. That I thought it was over there. McDavid hits the post. I mean, Vegas got away with it, too, right? Probably we saw Jim Hiller with the dumbest challenge in playoff history last series. Now we're seeing one of the dumbest penalties. That didn't cost his team, but and there's probably a suspension coming. Who knows? Maybe one game. Maybe it's just a fine, because I've never seen a guy try to cross-check a puck, so that excuse can go up.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Cass, there's no excuse on that one. That was just a stupid decision in a moment there, right? There's no defending that one.
No, how can you? No, that was horrible. Selfish would be the term we'd use. Foolish, ridiculous, and from a veteran guy that should know better in that instance. It's not a good play, not a smart play. I have to imagine, guys, there's no way he doesn't get at least one game. There's no way.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to what his excuse is going to be.
He wasn't going for the puck. The puck was fluttering around there. But
the excuse is going to push him in the chest. That's what that's what you're going to say. You're going to say, hey, I meant to hit him in the chest. Got away from me a little bit. I was trying to push him in the chest. That's going to be the excuse, but it doesn't look good because it wasn't good.
No, that was awful. Okay, we got a couple of texts I want to get to. Get your thoughts on this text that comes in. It says, fourth line dragged the superstars tonight. The fourth line exposed the top pairing with hard work. That fourth line with Podkolzin and Arvidsson and Janmark, they got the offensive fireworks going for the Oilers tonight. What can you say about the depth of this team in recent games, Cass?
Well, I think that's absolutely right. They did drag them into it. And what a turnaround from 3 or 4 weeks ago where there just wasn't much there from the depth players. And we're all questioning, is there enough? The depth isn't scoring enough. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, where's he been? He hasn't produced enough. These Arvidsson missing all year, hasn't been able to do much. Podkolzin can't finish, can't find a way to score. And we're not saying that right now because those guys have found ways to produce and to drag the team into it. And it's not just that fourth line. It's not just Podkolzin and Arvidsson tonight. You had Evander Kane scoring a big goal and getting to the front of the net. Hyman on that line too, and it really has been kind of a by committee down the lineup where if McDavid and Draisaitl aren't producing, other guys are finding ways to chip in, and that's a beautiful thing. To have, if Vegas's focus is on shutting down McDavid and Draisaitl, to have your depth players find ways to get around the net and to contribute, that's how you win series. That's how you win Stanley Cups. Is up and down. I mean, if you look at Stanley Cup winners, it's not just the big guns that are putting up points. You generally have guys up and down the lineup that on a night-to-night basis, even if it's a different guy each night, finding ways to dip in. Tonight was a prime example of that.
Oh, is Cass cutting out? Is Cass cutting out there, Hernan?
Yeah, I think we lost.
And then
There he is. He's coming back. Okay, I'll read some text while we wait for Cass to come back. Let's go to K-Town. K-Town texting in says, frustrating game, but this is huge. To go into Vegas and be up 2-0 after playing your B game and your C game, huge opportunity coming home where the boys play their best hockey. That's Josh from K-Town. Calgary, Glenn texting in. It says, I'll never criticize a win, but the Oilers were damn lucky to win that game tonight. We've been screwed by refs before, but tonight they gave this one back to the Oilers, and that should have been a penalty against Arvidsson. The way the Vegas power play is going, that could have been bad. I'm so happy that the Oilers got the win for Pickard. He stood on his head tonight and stole that game for the Oil. He made some unbelievable saves tonight. That one coming in from Calgary. Glenn, good to hear from you, Glenn. Barry the Cheater says, I was really worried after the Oilers couldn't capitalize on the 5-minute power play in overtime. I was worried that they just didn't have it tonight, but the Oilers came through. Safety Bob also chiming in, says they got the win. That's all that matters, but how many times did the Oil turn it over on the boards? Vegas must have been told to do that because the Oil couldn't win a battle or they would throw it away. Guarantee Vegas will continue to do that next game. Need to fix that. Picker, first, second, and third star of the game. Safety Bob with that one. All right, do we have Cass back? All right, Cass, sorry, you were cutting out there.
It's, as I said, that ding. So my apologies to everyone. It's been a couple weeks since they started installing fiber in the neighborhood, and my internet has just been jank. So
yeah, once they do, Cass, it's unbelievable. It's
I've been waiting. I've been waiting for so long for it, and it's just been painful because it just cuts out, and nothing I can do. So my apologies on that to all you nasties hanging true. I appreciate the patience.
We got you.
Yeah, appreciate it, but.
Okay, Cass, all good. First of all, nobody's upset. Secondly, it cut out right when you were talking about those depth players needing to give you something in the postseason on Stanley Cup runs, and I was about to make the joke. And seriously, I think of Chris Dingman in 2001 with the Colorado Avalanche. And you know Dinger, we skate with Dinger. He's a good guy, he's a funny guy, but guys like that, like Podkolzin scored tonight. Dingman scored in the playoffs for the Avs back then. He won a Stanley Cup again with the Tampa Bay Lightning, but you need those guys. So that's just to your point, and I agree wholeheartedly with that. Hello to Dinger, too, because we've become his favorite station, as you know.
Yeah, and Disher's an example of that. Colin Fraser would be an example of that. Another Alberta kid that just found ways to be productive on those type of teams and did it on multiple times with multiple teams to win cups. Yeah, you always need those guys. You need your depth to step up big. Again, Tom, they did tonight when the big boys didn't have their normal juice for most of the game. Your depth players pull you into it. Big boys get the job done, and that's how you win hockey games and ultimately series. So it's a huge group effort by the team tonight.
All right, 780-218-9999. If you have any questions for Cass, fire those our way. It is The Breakdown brought to you by South Forest Chevrolet. There's Lieutenant Eric, the big man. And DVD standing by as well. He wants to come and talk for a couple minutes. We'll get him on to Cass. A couple more for you. I'll read a couple texts too. Pickard, the MVP tonight, says Brandon. But honorable mention to Victor McArvidsson and Vasilion Podkolzin. Yeah. And then something you can't say very often. I thought the refs were very good tonight. Kane on the interference penalty, definitely a call, but not egregious, excessive retribution, and it gets called. Kulak gets a stick up on Eichel. Clear dive, no call in OT. McDavid with the puck the pick on Stone, but Stone initiated that contact. 5-minute okay wall, right call. They really did mess up on the McNabb play at the end, but one mistake is a pretty good night by NHL officiating standards. That's from Brandon. Yeah, that's a good point. Daniel mocking Jack Eichel, comparing him to Marv from Home Alone, getting electrocuted. And then Mitch from the Park says, boys, I've never felt more guilty on a win. Hey, Zeus, that was a wild missed call. If I was Vegas and a fan of theirs, I would be freaking out, man. I guess a win's a win. Mitch in the Park. If any time could be a win's a win, it's right now in the postseason against your bitter rival. All right, Cass, we have Game 6. Or, pardon me, Game 3 coming up. I predicted this series would be over in 6. Who knows? It might. But Game 3 coming up on Saturday night. For the Oilers, what will the focus be going into that one? And for Vegas, how do they regroup and try to dig out from this 2-0 series deficit?
Yeah, well, the message in the Vegas locker room is going to be, we just have to go into Edmonton and do what they did to us. They just won 2 games in our building. We can go into their building and win 2 games, and we're fine. That's going to be the messaging, but it's going to be a little more fragile. I talked, on this the pregame show today and in Game 1 about how I felt it's a different series, or has been a different series than the Los Angeles Kings series with the Edmonton Oilers from a momentum game-to-game standpoint. Mm-hmm. But it does start to build, and now 2 games where you won for Edmonton, you're going to have a Vegas team they're going to push. You're going to see them at their best. They're going to bring even more energy, but they're also going to be a little more fragile. And if you have some killer instinct from your top guys in particular, so if McDavid and Draisaitl now come out and have a dominant night for them, you're going to put yourself in a really good spot to be completely in control of the series with a potentially 3-0 series lead. So it's going to be a big rebound night for Edmonton. You're just resetting. You're resting as you can, refocusing, getting sleep in your own bed when you can, and just trying to just mentally get to the place where you have some killer instinct, because you really have a chance to seize this series. It's not over yet. Nope. You put yourself in a good spot, but you could potentially finish this one quick if you come into the gates in a good fashion in Game 3.
Cass, get some rest, big boy. That shirt is still fantastic. I loved it on the pregame show. Just as good, if not better, on the postgame show. We'll see you on Saturday, my friend.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
There is our game analyst, Matt Kassian, with the breakdown, brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. We've got Derek Van Diest. He's going to slide in at some point. We've got Reid Wilkins standing by for Reid. We do have to get to the Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy turning point of the game. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. Well, you've got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sport Medicine. Book your assessment today at www.advantagesportmed.ca or call 780-460-9977. Guys, this is what I'm picking for the turning point of the game. It was early in OT. Calvin Pickard made 3 really big saves early on and kept things alive and kept that hope alive for the Oilers. Yes, they didn't score and convert on that 5-minute major that Nick Hague took, but I thought if Calvin Pickard, and he did make some great saves tonight, but Pickard, 3 quick saves in like a 20-second span, a couple of those like boom, boom. I think Olofsson was in there. Who else was there? It was not Barbershop, but there was like 3 big saves right away. I think Hertel was one of them, and that to me is the Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy turning point of the game. All right, keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999. Get into the nasty chat. VR, it's his birthday. He wants to be on. We'll see. We'll see where he's at. He's been having a lot of beverages. I said maybe, but we got a lot to get to. We got Reid standing by as we bring him in for Reid's Read, brought to you by Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf Club. Fall in, golfers. Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf Club is open to the public, and memberships are still available. Join the ranks today and experience top-tier golf with a proud military tradition. For more info, visit egmgolf.com. To enlist, Reid Wilkins hopping on Riedrich. They win it 5-4 in overtime, and very lucky. Some calls that weren't made, calls that obviously were made, and Edmonton couldn't capitalize on a 5-minute major. Let's start with what was the biggest factor in your mind in today's Oilers victory?
The best live sports to watch. I mean, what a night. The headline to me, Tom, Well, there's a few. I don't know how to pick first one. Like, I thought Vegas played a great game.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, they were quicker to the puck, and they were harder on the puck for most of the night. I mean, especially the first 35 minutes of the game. They probably should have had more than a 1-0 lead. And then Edmonton, their depth players, that fourth line, produced a couple goals. Nurse got the 4-on-4 goal. Probably, as I often say, I don't like to pick apart individual goals necessarily, but probably from a Vegas perspective, you'd like Hill to stop one of the two, either the second or the third one. But I mean, they kept coming even after the Oilers got up 4-2. Look, the biggest concern for Edmonton is the special teams. They can't kill a penalty. Eichel is just standing there waiting to make a pass, and the Oilers haven't been able to take it away. So that's pretty concerning. And the power play stinks on the road. I mean, all their power play goals are at home, right, in the playoffs. So, and a 5-minute power play, I mean, you don't often bounce back from that, I wouldn't think, when you have that opportunity in overtime. And really, did they – I guess maybe that jam play that Corey had early in the power play was their best chance to score on the man advantage. The couple of Bouchard shots from outside, we know that he can fire it, but Hill saw them and made the saves. But, I mean, look, it's going to come down to a break. The Oilers got one. That was a trip on Arvidsson.
Yes.
I thought I didn't think he pushed him in the back. Like, I see some fans complaining, he tripped the man, he pushed him in the back. He had his hand on his back. He didn't shove him into the boards. It was a trip that looked worse because it happened to the board, near the boards, the way McNabb fell in. And I guess we'll see if he's all right or not. I mean, he looked like he was pretty hurt when he got up, like he was holding his arm the way guys hold their arms often when they have a separated shoulder. And then he seemed maybe okay going off the ice. So I don't know. Hopefully he's all right. That was a missed penalty on Arvidsson, no doubt about it. But if you get a break, you got to take advantage of it. And I will say this on the game-winning goal, Tom. When Mark Stone is coming down the right wing chasing a puck against Bouchard, I was like, well, this is the exact situation Bouchard often fails in. No intensity, no physicality, no like, oh my goodness, I better do something. And he did a good job. I mean, he shielded Stone from the puck, rimmed it around the boards, and then parried the nice little touch pass. And I'll have to watch it again because I'm not sure how Eichel got caught back there playing defense. But, as soon as McDavid got the puck, you knew it was going to be a 2-on-1. Yeah. And then it was just who shot it and who finished it. So, look, incredible hockey game. I mean, just great drama and huge for the Oilers as they're kind of, as I often say, they're in that figure-it-out mode. Because a lot of things they didn't do great tonight, they were flat out getting beat at times. Oh, and I didn't even mention Pickard, like outstanding.
Yes.
Some of the saves he made, that play in overtime, the bounce off the back wall where he made the save. And then Nurse, I think, knocked the puck away or got his stick on the puck for the second guy coming through. So, and Pickard made a lot of huge saves along the way. So they got it done. And quite frankly, Tom, this was not a great night for McDavid and Draisaitl. And I thought especially Draisaitl. Like, I don't know if something is wrong. Like, I know he has now 2 overtime goals and he still produces points. But how many passes did he make to nobody? Or into legs or to the other team. So I don't know if he's hindered by something, but they got the door open in overtime and they crashed it down on the 2-on-1.
This is Reid's Reid, brought to you by Edmonton Garrison Golf and Curling Club. We've got a bonus on Reid's Reid. Derek Van Diest from NHL.com. In-house here at Hudson's Bourbon Street DVD. You heard Reid's breakdown of the game. What's your follow-up and anything you got for Reidrick tonight?
Yeah, he doesn't know what the heck he's talking about. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
No, he's right. He's spot on. Reid, you're spot on there. You're right. The Oilers are getting the depth, though. Getting the depth scoring. They're able to play the 4 lines. I think that's a big thing. The Bouchard play was really good. You notice that play. He was able to, cut off Stone along the wall, make the right play, rimming the puck around the boards. Like, we've seen him do that. And then try and do that little back pass, right? How many times have we tried to see that little backhand back off the other way instead of rimming the puck around the boards, which he made the right play. But you're right. The power play's got to get going here. Like, they got to score some goals. They got to kill some penalties. But saying that, we're at a time where you can't really critique wins. They got their job done. They went into Vegas and won 2 games in Vegas. And now they're in total control of the series.
and they're coming home where they're a different team at home. Everyone knows they're a different team at home. They're so good at home. So they got to like where they are. There's a lot of things they can touch up in their game. They got it luck. They got some bounces. They got some non-calls. You're right. That's just the way it goes. And they hit 2 goalposts, and you're thinking, oh, man, if these end up costing the Oilers a 5-minute major, they really didn't generate much.
I thought Vegas was scoring for sure, you guys.
Oh, for sure. They controlled the play in the third period and overtime.
Yep.
And it looked like it's just a matter of time. Calvin Pickard has given the Oilers big saves at big times. He's playing extremely well for this hockey team. And it's his net right now. Like, it's his ball. He's going to carry it as far as he can. And right now the Oilers are looking like the team that went to the Stanley Cup final last season.
DVD mentioned coming back home. How different, Reid, in your opinion, will the Oilers be at home with that crazy crowd at Ice District compared to what we saw in Vegas, where, like you guys have been talking about, they still found a way to win a couple of games?
Well, even though the Oilers have proven scoring the first goal is ultimately irrelevant to the outcome of the game, they still got to play better in the first period. Yeah. And now 2 games in a row, they've basically taken a double minor in the first, 6 minutes against Vegas. Nugent Hopkins had the high stick in game 1. And in this one, they take a penalty, and they're 1 second away from killing it off, and Henrique shoots it over the glass. And they score on the second half of it. We did see a very loud and energizing Rogers Place in game 3 against the Kings, and the Oilers came out and got a 2-0 lead in that game. Ultimately fell behind and had to come from behind to win. But, I think Vegas is going to take a lot of positives out of this game. Like we alluded to earlier, they were quicker on pucks. Like, they were forcing the Oilers. They were heavier on the Oilers and were forcing turnovers, and Edmonton couldn't get the puck going through the neutrals. I mean, to me, it was night and day, guys, how Edmonton broke out the puck in the last game as opposed to game 2. And I think that's because Vegas really focused on that and really focused on starting the game well and not letting the Oilers generate that energy and that time to get the puck up the ice. So I think there are it's funny, Edmonton won. They might have more to correct than the Golden Knights after this game. We already talked about the special teams and then trying to counteract some of the physicality and speed that the Golden Knights were able to play with tonight. And I do think even though he got walked on that last goal, I mean, he's a defenseman. He's a forward, not a defenseman. Like, Eichel had a fabulous game. He got the power play points and he was quite dangerous, had the one-timer in overtime. So, I think there's a lot to there are a lot of teaching points for Chris Knobloch after this game, which is probably good because they're going to have to play better. But as DVD said, and that's still the theme, like, have more goals in the end. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be domination like it was most of the last game and game 5 against Los Angeles. The punch and counter punch in this game was just fascinating to watch.
Yeah.
Like, I think you saw the experience and the ability of these two teams really on display tonight.
These are 2 fantastic teams going head-to-head, man, and they both want it, and they both feel they can win the Stanley Cup. Our buddy Jeff Holland from Kiss 91.7 texted me directly, and Jeff asked, these Oilers, man, is it destiny this year? What would you guys say? Start with you, DVD.
Well, it's not destiny. I think it's a matter of they were always a good team, and I think it's just starting to come together at the right time. And I think there were some moves that maybe we criticized the management for, like John Klingberg. People say, "Oh my God, he's not going to work out. This guy's not going to work out." And look how well he's playing. Then you get Trent Frederick. You're like, you traded for a guy that can't skate right now. His ankle is so bad. I saw him in San Jose before the playoffs started, and he was skating on his own. He could not stop on his left side. Like, he could not do it. It's just that's how weak that ankle was. And now he's playing really well. He's got it going. You look at Evander Kane. What kind of impact is Evander Kane going to make? Having missed the entire season. Look at how he's playing, how well he's playing. And you go down the list. Wallman was injured going into it, and look at how well he's playing. Draisaitl was injured. Hyman was injured. Like, it's so many guys out of the lineup. Stuart Skinner was injured. And now it's really just all coming together at the right time. And knock on wood, if they can avoid injuries going forward, then, yeah, this is a team that's a legitimate Stanley Cup contender. Team of destiny, I don't know about that, but it's a legit Stanley Cup contender. Every team at this level believes, and when they get to the Final 8, believes they can win the Stanley Cup, and the Oilers are one of them.
Reid, Rick, what would you say to our good friend Jeff Holland?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with especially the last thing that Derek said. Every team that's still in the playoffs is telling themselves they're a team of destiny. And I think, I guess maybe with the exception of Florida right now and in Vegas, because they're down 2-0, it might be harder for fan bases to believe that. But I mean, look at the Jets, 2 minutes away from losing, 2 seconds away from losing, I know they lost game 1 to Dallas, but their fans could be saying, well, this is our year.
Yep.
Certainly the Maple Leafs, beat their provincial rivals and took the first 2 games against a team that's, another rival of theirs. And, I've been saying all playoffs, like this is not the Leafs team of years past. I think this is different this year. So, I mean, they could believe they're a team of destiny. But I understand why Oilers fans could feel that way, because some things are happening that have not happened in years past, in terms of what we call the McDavid and Draisaitl era.
Right.
Falling behind 2-0 in a series and then winning 4 in a row with all the comebacks, winning 2 games on the road against a very, very good team, winning over, like, guys, I believe the overtime record is now 7-11 in the McDavid Draisaitl era. At one point, I think it was 3-10.
Yeah.
I think they've now won 5 of their last 6 overtime games. So that's a little thing that's tilting in Edmonton's favor. And then, again, getting a break, that a penalty that should have been called in overtime on Arvidsson isn't called. And you score, like, how long did they score after that? The Arvidsson play.
Oh, it's like the next shift, wasn't it?
41, I think. The goal was at 4:57. I think it was like 17 seconds after McNabb went down.
Yes.
They should have been shorthanded, and they score. So, there are little moments along the way. Well, the Hiller challenge, there are little things that have happened where, we played well, or we were doing this, but remember when that other coach did that, or remember when the ref didn't see that penalty. Mm-hmm. Now, having said that, there's a couple ways to look at this. I know the Oilers didn't score on the 5-minute power play, but you could argue that a team with a player who commits a foul of that magnitude doesn't deserve to win. Like, just a horrific play by Waugh. I actually don't think he'll be suspended, Tom. I think they'll just say he got kicked out of the game. Maybe he gets a fine. And the other way to look at this, and I know DVD can't comment on this part of it, Derek. So I'm not trying to.
No,
I'm not trying to drag you anything here. I know you.
No, put him in a jam. Just do it.
But I'll say how I feel. As you know, Tom, as guys who cover teams, like, we're objective in terms of saying, hey, that team is good, this team is bad, this team has flaws, this team did something well. But we're also human beings who have emotional reactions to things.
Fair.
And from that side of it, it is really, really hard for me to ever feel bad for the Vegas Golden Knights. The call went against them. So what? I mean, this is a team that was gifted the best expansion franchise of all time in terms of the players they got to select and some of the trades they made. They went to the Stanley Cup final in their first season. Mm-hmm. They've only missed the playoffs once. They missed it in their 6th season. They've been to conference finals on other occasions. It's an organization that carries itself, and I know you always say they earned it, Tom, but it's an organization that carries itself with a almost sickening degree of arrogance, including some of the people who surround the franchise and don't even work for it, but maybe they're in roles like you and I have. So as an observer of hockey, I say the Oilers got away with a penalty. As someone who has maybe more of a gut reaction to things surrounding hockey, I ain't shedding any tears for the Golden Knights. Tough luck, guys. You've had your share breaks.
Oh, you nasty. I like spicy Reid. Hey, he's very spicy. It's Reid's Reid, brought to you by Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf and Curling Club. You can text us 780-218-9999. Hernan Salas back at EST Global HQ. Derek Van Diest from NHL.com. Tom Gazzola as well here at Hudson's Bourbon Street. It was VR Montenegro's birthday. A lot of nasties tonight. Great time. The Oilers win at 5-4 in overtime over the Golden Knights and take a 2-0 series lead. I'm going to read Peter's text. Peter says, this team makes no sense. LOL. The third period and OT, Vegas dominated. The Oilers get a 5-minute power play and guys are celebrating on a post. That was the Hyman post because they thought it went in. But nevertheless, the Oilers are inevitable. McDavid and Draisaitl are inevitable. This is a team of destiny. So we're getting a Thanos comparison there. Reid, I know we're all Marvel geeks and we like those movies, but a Thanos comparison for the Oil. Hopefully they have a better outcome than Thanos did the second time around, ultimately. Okay, Reid, tee up next game for us here in Edmonton on Saturday night.
Well, looking forward to being in the building and seeing the jungle. Welcome to the jungle, the Oilers pump-up song. I think the fans are going to be pumped. I think they're going to be pushing for a Game 3 win and another step towards a sweep. Again, I think it's going to be on the Oilers to make a lot of adjustments, starting on special teams. I mean, really 5-on-5, they've been okay, or even very good at times, but they have to figure out something on special teams. They can't be -2, and then I guess 0 for 2.5 on a power play in overtime when you could have ended the game sooner than you did. And then just matching that energy level. I mean, this is the great thing. Like, these teams are so equal and they're both great teams, but as we've seen, if you get out there and take the initiative, you can hammer another team in and really box them out from the front of your net. So, make sure you bring the energy, make sure you feed off the crowd, clean up the special teams, and then hope for a break or two.
Well, they certainly got one or two tonight. I want to read this before we wrap up Reid's Read. It's a text that I think you'll appreciate, especially after your last breakdown, where you're discussing people in and around the Vegas Golden Knights. Let's call it their outer circle. Harry Manback texts in. What a handle Harry Manback has. He says, "Thank you, Vegas." What do you think of that, Reid?
You're welcome, I guess, if he's thanking me.
I think he is.
You're welcome.
I will also thank you, Reid, because this has been an excellent segment all postseason long, and it will continue on. It's Reid's Read, brought to you by the Edmonton Garrison Golf and Curling Club. Get some rest. I will see you in the morning, okay?
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, DVD. And thank you, Hernan. See you guys.
That is Reid Wilkins, host of the Reid Wilkins Show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, 3 to 6, Monday to Friday, with Jay Milne and Ice Cube. Let's bring in Hernan Salas. Nanso, are you seeing anything you want to get to? Are there any post-game clips? What do you got for us, buddy?
We got McDavid and Draisaitl.
All right, you want to roll that?
Sure.
Okay, let's do it.
Brian, you trying to get that one?
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, obviously. Not pretty at all. Thought Picks held us in. Thought we were fortunate to find a way to be up 2 a couple times there, and obviously didn't close it out. Found a way, though. Obviously we'd like to score one on the power play there. 5 minutes. Not our group's best. But yeah, found a way.
Connor, your fourth line gets 2 goals. Your second line chips in again. You mentioned Pickard. What does this whole team effort mean to this group right now?
Well, it takes everybody. I mean, we know that. Everyone knows that. It takes everyone up and down the lineup. And we're getting help all over. That Janmark line has been, really, really, really good since they've been together. I guess you could call them the fourth line. They're hardly the fourth line. They're playing great. Same with that, that Nuge line. Henrique's line scores a bunch, the other night too. So getting help all over. The back end scored a couple. Picks was great. It's great.
Feels like you and Leon picked a pretty good time to join the party tonight, eh?
Yeah, not our best, not my best. But we found a way. That's what we get paid to do. Paid to score goals in big moments, and we found a way tonight.
Does human nature set in when you have the 5-minute power play to go in? Himes has a great chance to hit the post. You hit a post. Does human nature start to think, man, how many chances are we going to get here?
Well, I'm sure they feel the same on that side too. They had lots of looks, lots of dangerous point shots that could have gone, and Picks held his ground. A tight game with 2 good teams that could have gone either way. Probably fortunate to find a way to win, but you got to win these ones too. It's not going to be your best every single night, and found a way to win on an off night.
So you grab control of sort of a series. You win the first 2 games on the road. That's I'm not sure you guys have done that I can remember. What's it mean to call home with a 2-0 lead? Your crowd's waiting for you back there.
Well, it means nothing if we're not ready to go at home. Really, two good efforts here, but it means nothing if we're not ready to roll for Game 3.
6 straight wins, all of them, difficult wins. What does that do for a team's confidence that, no matter the situation you're in it?
Yeah, we've come from behind lots. We've obviously given up a lead today. We've won overtime games. We've won different ways, and you got to do that this time of year. The group's obviously feeling confident, but I feel like our best is just is still coming. We're just building our game. I feel like our best is still coming, and I'd hope to see it at home here.
McDavid, Derek, he did not look like a happy camper, but he still talked about the team getting the win. So 5-4, the Oilers win it over the Golden Knights in overtime. And he said hardly the fourth line when talking about the Arvidsson, Podkolzin, and Janmark line. They're the fourth line. Let's not kid ourselves. What'd you think about Connor McDavid and his demeanor in that one?
Well, he wasn't happy. But, he wasn't happy probably with his own game. And I think he's probably a little upset with his own game. Probably thought he could play a little better. And I think that's what the issue is right now. So he's happy with the team that won, but he's the leader of the team. And he came up with a big goal. But I just don't think he was happy with his own game. And he's absolutely right when he says, this doesn't mean anything if you don't take care of business at home.
Right.
How many times have we seen a team lose 2 at home, come back and then win 2 on the road, and then suddenly it's a series on again? The Oilers have to take advantage of this. They win Game 3, this series is pretty much over. Very rarely do teams come back from 3-0. The Oilers almost did it last year.
Right, which was a minor miracle.
Yeah, it was. But if they lose Game 3 and win Game 4, like if 3-1, the Vegas Golden Knights want to go a worst case scenario, they want to come home at 3-1. Because then they still have an opportunity. 3-0, they're in big trouble. But I think he's absolutely right. And he's saying, hey, we stole one here. We got away with one. We did what we had to do. We came in here, won 2 games. And now we have to go and just get the job done at home. They have to serve at home. And I think that's the big thing. And it's not going to be easy to do because you saw Vegas. We all knew they were going to be a much better team today than they were the other night. They all knew that they're a big, strong team. They're a team that, they take away the ice. They just don't have a lot of ice, don't have a lot of room, the Oilers. And the Oilers, tell you what, they're playing them well. They're chipping pucks in behind that defense. They're not afraid to chip pucks in. And I think a younger team or a team less experienced in the Oilers would be trying to work their way through the zone. And I think right now they're realizing, hey, we got to get chip pucks in on these guys, and we got to go get on the forecheck. And they're big, strong, heavy defensemen, but they can be worn down as well.
Natso, what did you think of McDavid and what he had to say?
Yeah, not happy. I agree with DVD. Not happy with his performance. He'll be better. Like I said, I think these guys are gonna be ready to roll at home. He's always kind of short with the media and kind of annoyed. So I don't read too much into it. I think he was more upset with his performance, and I think once we hear from Leon, it'll be something very similar to what McDavid had to say.
All right, we do have Leon Draisaitl as well. Let's hear from the hero from tonight.
I don't know, maybe an exercise of patience or just kind of sticking with it. You feel like a bit of a grind tonight to get
yeah, they were much better. They obviously had their push. They're a really good team. I mean, we knew they were going to come and they're going to push. I thought we weathered it okay. Obviously, they had us on our heels a little bit there for a little bit, but weathered it, got it into overtime, and at that point, all you need is one hockey play really, and fortunately, we got that tonight.
What's the confidence level of this team right now that in any situation you're going to be fine?
Yeah, it's high. I mean, we've won games in different ways, and we've been able to come from behind, play with the lead, all sorts of different wins. Some things to clean up, certainly, but obviously we'll take the win.
Were you use a nice simple game where you just win 4-1 or something like that?
I don't think those exist in the playoffs. I haven't been part of. Actually, I've been part of very few of those. Put it that way.
Does it feel strange to the team when you have the 5-minute power play, it doesn't go in. You get a post, it doesn't go in. You hit a crossbar. Is there a feeling like we might be running out of chances here at some point?
I mean, that's what you always think, right? They did a good job on the kill. We didn't create overly much. And then I think human nature brain goes to, they're going to throw one on net and it's going to go in and it's over. So, but Pixie was obviously incredible. We made some great plays, and we'll take it.
Yeah, so your fourth line gets 2 goals. You got, another goal from the second line. A lot of contributions left down the lineup. What is that like for this team right now?
It's everything. It's truly everything. Our depth has been, for the most part, carrying us through these playoffs, and they're the reason we're in this spot right now. And it doesn't matter what line it is. Today was our fourth. They scored 2 massive goals. Game 1, they're probably our best line without scoring, but probably statistically our best line. So, you need it at this time of year.
You and Connor picked a pretty good time to join the party tonight, eh?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have much going on. Obviously, a couple great plays, and then it's just all world. I mean, that's all day. It's tough to really even celebrate my part of the goal.
Connor's so known for being fast, but it was him going slow that really made that play, wasn't it?
I think it's his timing, and then just an amazing play by Corey to get it off the yellow. And that's not a great situation to be in when you have 97 coming at you at full steam. So, again, it's just an all-world play.
All right, there was Leon Draisaitl. Pretty straight up about that. He gets the winner. Not their best game. They've got some work to do to clean it up, but they do have the 2-0 series lead. I'm going to read a couple of texts. We're going to get to the player of the game with the Latino Heat, Hernan Salas. Randy says, well, at least Reid had the cojones to say he's a biased homer. I can respect that, and I think Oilers fans and some media are just as arrogant and ignorant, like he talked about the Vegas franchise. Good night, fellas. Good luck with the rest of planning the parade. Now that conspiracies of refs and Bettman hating the Oilers have been put to rest. Randy, I know you like to stir the pot, but come on, man. Actually, you make a good point. I'm kidding. Oh, God. Natso, do you have anything for Randy's text there?
No. I mean, it's Randy.
It's Randy. Did you catch that one?
Sorry, I was texting with my boss.
It's this.
You know what? Okay, I don't share Reid's disdain for the Golden Knights because I was there for the final when they won.
Yes.
When they beat Florida the first time. And I'm a huge fan of Kelly McCrimmon because I've known him I've known Kelly for like 20 years.
Yes.
Back when he was with the Brandon Wheat Kings. And I like Kelly. And you know what? The rules are the rules, and they took advantage of the rules. And it's not their fault that Florida traded him Marcus. So it's not their fault.
That's a gift from Dale Talon,
right? It's
and
not
Riley
their fault
Smith
that they circumvented, and did whatever they did to get. No one handed them a step like the Seattle Kraken had the exact same rules, and they didn't do like what the Vegas Golden Knights did. I think the Vegas Golden Knights. They're competitive every year for a reason because I think Kelly McCrimmon is a shrewd GM. I think he does a great job there. And tell you what,
you biased media.
I'm not biased media. I'm just saying I've been there. I get to know those people. And if Reid spent some time in Vegas and got to know some of those people and got to talk to them, he'd see that, hey, they're pretty good people too. I don't know who's talking about media side. I don't know who's talking about in that regard. But the people I've met in Vegas, and I spent a lot of time in Vegas, working with those people, working with their media relations team, working with a lot of it, and they are second to none. They have a top-notch organization there, and there's a reason that they're competitive every year.
Hampton Steve says, ugly wins are just as valuable as pretty wins. Tonight was the definition of an ugly win. Oilers need to work on both special teams during their flight home tomorrow. Lots of video clips, that's for sure. All right, let's get to the player of the game, brought to you as always by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting, consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or visit his Instagram, Damon Bunting Real Estate. Latino Heat, take it away, my friend.
I mean, it's weird to pick Pickard because he let 4 goals in, but man, he was brilliant. He's the reason I think they won this game. He was awesome in the third overtime. some killer saves. Honorable mention to Vasily Podkolzin. I thought he was excellent on the night. I mean, the 2 goals Hill let in, pretty soft, we'll call it that, but it doesn't take away from his performance. 2 assists. But Calvin Pickard tonight was outstanding with 28 saves. He is the goalie here. They're not going to Skinner at any point unless Pickard has 2, 3, 4 bad games. Calvin Pickard is the David Bunty player of the game for the agency.
Well, I just want to say one thing about Pickard. He did look like he hurt his knee on one. Like, did you guys notice?
Yes, noticed it.
And he wasn't made available for their post game tonight. I think a couple people were looking for him, and he was not made available. So it's probably icing and looking at the doctor. So that's something we have to keep an eye on, because it did look like he banged up his knee or something. He hurt something. So hopefully he'll be okay coming forward.
All right, DVD. Thank you for hopping on. Can you do me a favor? Can you go get the birthday boy?
Who's that?
VR Montenegro.
Oh.
Really quickly. Corey B was just around here.
I don't know who that is.
They're the last 2 guys from our table.
That's one of those 2 guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just go get VR Just say VR Montenegro. You're being requested.
All right.
All right. Derek Van Diest from NHL.com. Great stuff as always from DVD. Keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999. We've got a couple minutes left. I'm going to read a few texts here before we give birthday boy the present he's been longing for. I think big shout out to the Nasties who all came out. Great contingent of them. And this crew shows up all the time. Natso, you were here. What'd you think of everybody tonight?
That's a great crowd. It's a good group. It's a good group. It's a fun group. Respectful. They like to have a good time. Yeah, nothing. The Nazis are all beauties. There's nothing to say. Getting to know them more and more. Just great people all around, and look forward to seeing them again. Probably won't be until Game 5. Probably not because you're on White Ave. But we'll see. But it's always fun hanging out with them and enjoying a few laughs and watching the game with them.
Okay, here he is. It's his birthday. He's had a special day today. Put on the headset, buddy. There you go. This is VR Montenegro. You know him from his time in the nasty chat, the inbox, and we're gonna give him a couple minutes here. Okay, birthday boy, how was it tonight?
It was a great night. Absolutely fabulous.
Camera's right there. There you go.
How's it going, Nas chat?
There you go. VR Montenegro. What'd you think of the game?
It was a very good game.
Yeah.
It was exciting. I didn't like them blowing the lead. Glad they pulled it out in overtime. I just wanted to say the Nasties, this community is it's ridiculous. The love that I got tonight throughout the day. Man, if you guys ever want to come out to one of these events, just come out. We're a wonderful group of people.
Yes.
Tommy bought a round of shots for, all the Nasties. We celebrated my birthday. I didn't expect anything today when I woke up. My wife said, it's my birthday in the chat this morning, and from there it just took off. So this community is amazing. I'm glad I'm part of it. You guys should be part of it too. That's pretty much all I wanted to say.
I love it, buddy. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to VR Montenegro.
Give me that love, Tom.
There you go. A little bit of love for VR Montenegro.
All right, Nasties. I want to get out of here before I become a complete drunken, belligerent person.
No, you handled it very well. Happy birthday, buddy. You handled it super well.
Awesome. Thanks,
all right,
Tom.
thank you, buddy. Thank you. There's VR Montenegro in the flesh coming on. Hernan, that was emotional.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Oh, that was beautiful.
And he's one of
he is a great guy.
He's an OG, so yeah, great times. Happy birthday once again. Hopefully he had I know he had a good time, so get home safe.
He's going to get home safe. Big thank you to Ginger for sending him out tonight and letting everyone know that it was his birthday. I know he loves his lovely wife, and she did everyone a solid by pointing out that it's his birthday. The Nasties showed up tonight. The Oilers got the win. We put them on, and that was an awesome moment. So very cool to have a chance to celebrate his birthday with them. So nicely done. Happy birthday, VR Montenegro. Let's read a couple of texts before we say goodnight. The Oilers with the 5-4 overtime win. Do we have the Bruce Cassidy interview? Was he spicy tonight? Do you know her?
He was just upset about the non-call.
Okay, Corey was asking, he said, can we see the Cassidy interview? We're running out of time tonight. I think the boys in the morning, if it was that spicy, then I'm sure they'll run clips from it tomorrow. They'll have time to accumulate those clips. Peter says Mark Stone calling Yarvinson play dirty is laughable. I can't stand this Vegas team. And what did Juan say? Juan says, preach, Reid, Vegas. So a lot of that. Jack Eichel, more like jock hanging. Yes, he got danced around by Connor McDavid. Ken says, who cares if the refs blew the Arvidsson trip? The lying, cheating Knights won their cup with Stone's annual LTIR injury. About time the hockey gods gave the Oilers a break. Vegas. This is it's already a spicy rivalry, but it's getting even more heated. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm here for it. I'm enjoying it very, very much. Nancito, final words from you tonight.
Stranglehold on the series. I said in 5. I'm sticking to that. I think it'll be over quick here. I think the Oilers split at home and then win it in Vegas. So we'll see what can happen. I mean, they dropped a little bit tonight. They'll be better at home. That crowd's going to be crazy on Saturday. So look forward to it.
Let's go to Brandon. One last text says, if the Oilers win this round, we need Hernan to sing Pink Pony Club instead of La Bamba. Or both, Nan. So, CVR, happy birthday. What do you say to that, Nancito?
Yeah, I gotta look that up. Let me get back to you on
that. You can do it. What's her name? Chapel Roan. That's who sings Pink Pony Club. Yeah. Now, if you did an interpretive dance with the song, that would be amazing. Or get Joaquin to do the interpretive dance while you sing it with those beautiful, beautiful pipes of yours. Okay, Edmonton in a crazy game 2 walks away victorious, leaving the Strip with a 5-4 overtime victory. Leon Draisaitl scores the winner on a nice feed from Connor McDavid. Calvin Pickard made some big saves tonight, especially in overtime, and we all celebrated VR Montenegro's birthday. A great turnout from the Nasties as always. The boys in the morning on the Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric will have more to break down. And, this is going to be great. We're going to be live on location at the Ice House on Saturday and Monday for games 3 and 4. We'll see if Edmonton can stay hot and make it a 7-game winning streak in the playoffs, because they've got 6 in a row, baby. Big thank you to everybody who watched on YouTube, everybody who listened on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, our EdmontonSportsTalk.com audio player, to those that are going to consume this show in podcast form at a later date. We appreciate that as well. You know it's great. Tell your friends. We have the best sports station in the city, bar none, clear choice for Edmonton sports, and we want as many people to know about it as possible. For Matt Kassian, for Reid Wilkins, for Derek Van Diest, for Dustin Nielsen, and for the Latino Heat, Hernan Salas. I am Tom Gazzola saying thank you once again. We appreciate you. Have yourselves a lovely night, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao, everyone.